We are going to have Eugene Ladeau up next to speak, and he's going to be amazing. So Eugene, go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty. Phew, with an introduction like that, I better not let anybody down. Hello, guys. My name is Eugene Ladeau. I am an intuitive conversationalist. What that means is I will speak with you. I will use my guides. I will use tarot. I will use, well, actually, I don't want to say I will use, but the dragons also give me information and a few other things. I do readings, but one of the things I love to do is teach. I use the time here on the stage to try to help people reach their potential. That is one of those things that is very dear to me, is to help people use their potential, because I've had people do that for me. Um, I've had, most recently, Sherry and a few others that are part of the Healers Network encourage me and also inspire me. I am also a poet. I am a photographer. As you can see, Jellybean right here behind me. Uh, he's kind of my Zoom buddy here because, well, I got construction going on behind me. But anyway, what I want to talk to you today is about using your soul memory as a part of your creativity. We all are creative, and I don't think everybody realizes that. Um, but it's where we get our inspiration, and what do we create? How do we create? Well, one of the things that my guys have shared with me for a long time now is that imagination is the memory of the soul. I want you to think about that just for a second. Imagination is the memory of the soul. Some people like to watch movies. Some people like to read books. Others, uh, you know, all kinds of different art that they enjoy. And a lot of people ask themselves, where did this person come up with this? Where did this story come from? I personally like fantasy and sci fi. If anybody has seen or read The Lord of the Rings or something like that, they at one point had to have asked themselves, where and how did this author come about this? How did they put this vision into a movie? You ever read a poem and ask yourself, where did this come from? How did he put these words, or she put these words together in such a way that it touched my soul, touched my heart, touched my emotions, made me cry, made me laugh? How do some people tell a joke, and they do it so cleverly that you can't help but laugh, but you wonder, how do they do it? Well, our soul memory is that which all the lives we've ever lived, we have things that we remember that we don't even understand. Oh, it may not be verbatim type of memory, but it gives you a glimpse into other worlds. For instance, uh, the dragons. We here on Earth, almost every culture has a form of dragon. You ever ask yourself why? Well, there's a reason for it, because we as a species have a collective soul memory. At one time, dragons were physically here. They had a purpose. They are no longer here, but we do remember them. Some people, when they imagine a dragon, they think, oh, a beast of terror. Blood and ice and fire, and they get all scared. And then there's others that, when they think of a dragon, they think, wow, it's magic. It's wonderful. Uh, this is something I want to share with my kids. We're going to make a movie about it. We want to write about it. And there's so many different versions of the dragons. So I, at one time, went back and started looking at it. Almost in every culture, the dragon is considered wise. It has information that we don't have. Well, when the dragons first started appearing to me, I found out there's a reason for that. Dragons are the muses. They are the ones that help us by providing inspiration. Uh, I write a lot of dragon poetry. Um, so that is for me. But how do you? What do you feel, or what do you imagine when you close your eyes? Can you sing? Do you have a song that's always in your head, and you want it to come out through your throat, but it's not a melody you've ever heard before? At least you don't think. You ever have those quiet moments when all of a sudden words are coming into your head? This is the inspiration. This is the soul memory. Do you ever make up a story to tell your children or somebody else's children? Well, there's a reason where, and there's a reason for that is your soul is remembering things. So one of the things I would like to encourage you is when you're trying to be creative, if something's not working, try to think in your mind what you're trying to accomplish. And I was talking about this the other day with someone, and they said to me, I can't draw, I can't write, I can't sing. I said, so what can you do? Well, they go, I build. I said, what do you build? Oh, I like making little knickknacks and little shelves and fancy little woodworking. I said, that's art. That's something. What do you want to express? Oh, I like the old timey look. And the more we started talking, they started getting excited. They started using their soul memory and using it to be creative. Sometimes we think, well, creation is only in art or music. Imagination can be used in the everyday life. You ever go to a city and look at a building and go, this is amazing, this is beautiful? I think most people would think, oh, if he's talking about a building, they think the Taj Mahal. You know, these are things that are creative. So using your soul memory uh, can spark a lot of things, but don't give up. Don't sit there and say, I don't have an ability. We all have an ability. You've heard people on here say, oh, we want to help you grow. We want to help you discover your spiritual gifts. One of those gifts that everybody has is creativity. So remember, let your mind go back, let it embrace those things that come into it, and be creative. Find a way to express that soul memory in a way that can, if nothing else, is fun and relaxing for you. This, a lot of people don't understand, is a spiritual gift. I don't know if uh, I nobody could tell you what your gift is. This is something you also have to figure out. Sometimes it's by trial and error. Sometimes it's by talking to people and saying, "Do you like this? Does it cause you to feel something? Does it cause you to smile? Does it cause you to frown? Does it what is there anything?" One of the things that we should try is when we're meditating, and most people in here that I know that are speakers do some form of meditation. Maybe we need to start doing some meditation on imagination. That'll increase that soul memory coming through. I will tell you that not all of soul memory will be good. You've heard people in here talk about releasing the past, getting rid of those things that are not uh, good to keep inside. That is also a way to use your creativity. As a poet, I know that sometimes not all my poetry is fluffy and full of flowers. Your creativity can help you release. Your creativity can help you review. It can help you to renew. There's so much that we don't actually talk about. I would encourage you, if you are not doing something with your creative side, that you do so. It's something that we all need to do. Normally at this time, that's all I wanted to share with you at this point. So I have decided to, I wrote a couple poems recently. They've actually helped some people, so I thought I'd read a couple of them today. Uh, One is called, the first one is called Movement and Magic. And yes, I do read it because I don't memorize it. Movement and Magic. The hand is quicker than the eye, so we've been told. And if it be true the fortune favors the bold, let us speak then of true magic, and not the rubbish we've been sold. I lay aside the grace in my tongue, and I'll tell you plainly of magic's principle of one. For in all else there is only this, though it seems to be stunned. Simply put, movement is magic. Movement guided by intent is the trick. For movement with no intent is chaos and indeed tragic. The absence of movement is an invitation to rot and death. For without movement there is no flow of blood or breath. Without movement, time itself ceases. The stars turn cold and nothing is left. So it is from quark to quasar, movement is life, and life in motion is the magic. That one, the reason I wrote that is someone was telling me, I don't believe in magic. Well, it's there every day. The next one is kind of an affirmation. Someone was having trouble sleeping, and I was inspired to write something. Hopefully, I've heard it called a spell. I've heard it called an affirmation. I've heard it called a prayer. Um, Personally, I think it's all of the above. To slumber and sleep. Whether my pillow be of feather or stone, sleep and rest are skills I must hone. I have thought my thoughts and put them in this box. With circle and sign, I have sealed the locks. I close my eyes without sheep or pill, so say I, for this is my will. I am protected until I must wake, my purpose I will not forsake. So be it, my intent is set. Tonight, rest and sleep I will get. That is the end. And I actually received a call or a message, I should say, that the person that was having the trouble sleeping read this aloud 3 times and they slept the whole night through. So, your creativity can affect others. Your soul memory is the best form of being creative. Is there anyone that has any kind of a questions regarding this subject? Okay. Um, that's all I have for the moment. Kiana, are you there?
I am, and thank you, Jean, so much. It was beautiful, 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 and thank you so much for going out of turn. So thank you for being here. Everyone, send up hearts for Jean. Did you have a door prize to give away, Jean?
I do. A half-hour session to be scheduled later this week. I have already chosen a number. If
We need to get their numbers in the chat. So numbers from 1 to 100 in the chat. Barbara, did you have a question for Jean?
If you did, you're muted, Barbara.
Everyone, please put your numbers 1 to 100 in the chat. I currently see no numbers. If you don't have a number, you can't win. Yay, Danielle. Let's get some numbers.
Did you have a question, Barbara?
I did. Could you speak to the topic about speaking to dragons a little bit more? Like specifically, like how does one speak to a dragon?
Well, my first actual interaction was they came to me, and I, I hate to say it this way, but I see dead people sometimes, and I see other things. And there was a Sunday I was home alone, and they kind of showed up, and they come to find out we're friends with my guide a very, very long time ago, and they wanted. I was kind of feeling that I should write about dragons, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what, and they just kind of showed up. So I have asked this question because you are not the first person to ask me that. It seems to be something that a lot of people want to know, and I will simply say this: ask, ask out loud. But I must warn you, uh, when they don't come quietly, whether it be uh, physically or not physically, but when you see them, sometimes it can be a little frightening at first. It's not time for them to physically return, but it's getting very close. But uh, you can also request. Now, the dragons, they don't speak in our language; their throats are different. Most of the time, their communication with me is in images. For instance, I asked the first one what her name was, and all of a sudden, I'm getting image after image after image, and I'm like, okay, slow down. I didn't say it nicely though. I was using words that I probably shouldn't use in public. Um, because it was a little bit overwhelming at first, and all I did was ask her name. Well, some of the images I was getting were things that I couldn't relate to at all. I did not understand them. But one of them was of her flying among stars, kind of like a dance in the stars. And I said, "Star dancer," and I just gotta, that'll do. That's it. You know, um, and so now I know her name. However, her name is nothing I could ever pronounce, or any human vocals cords could not pronounce those names. They're long, they're descriptive not just of character and physical traits, but of will and desire of what they hold dear. So, short answer to your question, just ask. Just be willing to, you know, deal with it as it comes. Sometimes I have a friend who is talking to dragons and they say it's more of a feeling for them. So, but let's start the conversation by asking. Real simple. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Is that all for numbers? Tiana, are you still there? Wow, this has been acting weird. So I will do it this way. I wrote it down before the room actually started. It is 21. The closest is Viola Austin. Where are you, Viola? There you are. Um, if you'd like to exchange information, go to room 8, and I will join you there, and we can exchange information and set up a
Okay.
time to do a half-hour reading. It'll probably be this week, though. Okay,
Okay, so go to room 8.
room 8, and we'll exchange information.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, Kiana, you got the room.
Hello, hello.
All
Awesome.
right.
So I see only 3 numbers in the chat and I see lots more people in the room. So if you would like to win a session, go ahead and drop a number in the chat. What are you doing?
We already did that.
Well, there's only 3 numbers. There's more people here than 3 people, or did everyone already win?
I assumed they did.
Okay. What's your number, Gene?
It was 21. Viola was closest.
Ooh, perfect.
And I chose the number before the room started. So
perfect. We love it. Amazing. Awesome.
all right, I'm gonna go to room 8. I'll meet you there, Viola.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.